It's been 3 years of Paper Crane Shop, so let's talk about it. So this is my little shop, y'all. Yes, it's about 25 minutes before I have to open for the day, and I thought let's have ourselves a little chat about how this came to be because we really started from nothing. Okay, guys, so Paper Crane Shop really started with like a text, a dream, and the audacity. My daughter and I, we've always been like crafty girls. We've always been into making our own art. We've always been very like heavy into customization, like customizing our own things. And we have been able to make our own business out of it. So one time I literally just texted my daughter and I was like, Alicia, would you like to start a stationery store with me? And she just said, absolutely, I do. So in March 2023, Paper Crane Shop was born. And here's the entire timeline. Let's do a more rapid fire version though. So we weren't doing like super well online. It's never really taken off for us. We've never had a viral video, none of that stuff. Everything has been like very organic growth, but we weren't really seeing any traction online. So one day we were like, oh my gosh, let's go to a craft show. And in December 2023, we had our first craft fair. And oh my gosh, I will share the story of our craft fair journey with you guys because let me tell you, we had no idea what we were doing. So as we're getting into more and more craft fairs, we hear that our local mall is also going to have a craft fair. So in March of 2024, they have a craft fair in the mall and we sign up, we come in, and in those 2 days, we did more than we've ever done at any other craft fair. So that was super exciting, but also we met like all the mall people, like the higher ups, the mall management, the marketing director at the time, who we became very close friends with. She was like, oh my gosh, you guys have like such a unique concept. Like, you guys would do great here. And we were like, say less. We literally contacted the mall office the very next Monday and started, talking about getting a spot. All the stores were too big for like what I could afford. And I also at the time like could not have filled a 4,000 square foot store. So we settled for a little kiosk. So in May of 2024, we did like our little kiosk soft launch, which I'm actually so glad that we did because one of the first problems that we encountered was, oh, we have no internet access. Let's get that fixed. So it was just a really good to like get some bugs cleared out. And then finally on June 1st, 2024, we had like our kiosk grand opening. Now, because the kiosk you have to kind of man all day, it became like very labor heavy for us. That's when we hired our first employees, some of which we still have to this day. I was doing a lot of running back and forth, like bringing Alicia in the mornings, and then she would run the kiosk. I would go home. I would make a bunch more stuff because there was no place to print, there was no place to cut, none of that stuff. And obviously, we needed to make more stuff to like replace what we were selling. And it just was not working out. And so at the time, the marketing director that was here said, Laura, I see you pass by my office like 20 million times a day. Like, how is it going over there? So I was really honest and I was like really vulnerable for a second. I was like, listen, it's going great sales wise, but logistics wise, it's killing us. I don't know how I'm going to do a year of this, but I already signed the year. Right. And so, I kind of explained to her, like, we can't make anything. And it's just, it, ugh, I don't know. Like, I should have thought about that first. Right. So then she says, you know what? I have an idea. So she takes me to like one of these one off little offices. Like some of your malls may have like a State Farm or an Allstate or maybe even a bank. And so we had something like that here in our food court. And she was like, listen, no one's had it like for years. Like, I'm not saying that the mall will rent it to you, like that's above me, but you could ask, and the worst they can say is no, but this could be an option for you. And so it was this a really small, oddly shaped. We called it creatively shaped. It was a creatively shaped space. Definitely wasn't set up for retail, but I was like, you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way, and I have the will. So I tropped along and asked them all, like, hey, what do you guys think of this? And they were open to it. So we had our kiosk grand opening June 1st, 2024. By July 10th, 2024, we had another grand opening in our new retail store. Well, office converted retail store. The local girlies are loving Paper Crane Shop. They love that we have the stickers and the stationery and the bookish accessories. They are appreciative of the fact that we, use original art and we don't use AI and all that good stuff. But we really felt like something was missing to kind of bring the whole vibe together. And that's where our coffee came into play. And so again, we opened that store July 10th. By September 30th, we were officially serving coffee as well. So as you can tell, everything's just happening like super fast. And then in just a few months later, in January 2025, we stopped getting our cookies wholesaled and we started baking those ourselves. So yes, when you come to Paper Crane Shop, you get fresh home baked cookies. So that was January of 2025. And then just a few short months after that, we were like, we're ready to grow again. And so in June of 2025, we moved to this store where we're at right now. It is the biggest location we've ever had. It's also just in a better location in the mall itself. It's closer to like the center of the mall where everybody tends to walk through. So we have better ways to display our stuff. We're continuing to grow, more space to grow that stuff, more space to grow our coffee bar, and we're getting a lot more traffic. We officially moved in June 2025. The plumbing was still being worked on and stuff like that. So it was very like soft launch type of vibes. But we ended up having like a grand, I can't remember if we called it like a grand reopening party or a moving party or whatever, but that was July of 2025. And this year, March 2026, we celebrated 3 years of Paper Crane Shop. So as you can see, like our store has known nothing but growth. It is extremely hectic to be in growth all the time. And I don't think that we've ever been quite prepared for every little bit of growth that we've had. It's been very much a leap of faith for us. We've never had anybody backing us. So we started this with no money. Every like little leap that we do to grow bigger and bigger, it's literally the sales from the store. I've never like gotten a loan from anybody or anything. Like Alicia and I really built this from nothing. And it feels so crazy to say, but we are continuing to grow. So I have a few things that are cooking up in here for this year, which I can't release just yet. But just know that if we can do it, you can do it. We started off literally on a fold out table in our living room, like with nothing. And if we can do it, you can do it too. It's so funny because I look at our little timeline sheet and it seems like March and June-ish, July tend to be big months for us every year. And I think that that's going to be the same this year. So definitely stay tuned to see what we've got next. If you want more videos like this, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye.